Hello, welcome to Leisrealtalk. Do you know which symbol is the most auspicious, the most universal, and yet the most misunderstood in the world? It is the swastika. Across civilizations and prehistoric cultures around the world, regardless of language differences or geographical distances, artifacts and objects bearing the swastika have been discovered all over the world. What does this mysterious symbol signify, and why is it so misunderstood? In Arizona, there's an ancient Indian tribe called the Hopi. The Hopi people migrated from Mexico to Arizona 5,000 to 10,000 years ago, and their name Hopi means people of peace. The Hopi have a long-standing tradition of faith, and generation after generation, they have passed down prophecies about the origins, history, and future of humanity. These prophecies were not recorded in written language, but preserved through oral tradition. In the Hopi village of Arabi in Arizona, there's a rock known as the Prophecy Rock. The carvings on the rock use symbols to express an ancient prophecy from the Hopi tribe. Among the symbolic images, there's a swastika. According to the Hopi, it represents sacred spiritual energy from the universe. Before Hitler and the Nazis usurped the symbol, in early 20th century North America, the swastika symbol was celebrated as a sign of good luck. It was widely used, such as on packaging for fruit, as a symbol of the Boy Scouts, as well as on the armband of the 45th United States Regiment during World War I. In a synagogue in Hartford, Connecticut, the swastika was used as a decorative pattern on the floor. Coca-Cola also had a swastika pendant. Traditional clothing of Native Americans often features swastika patterns, symbolizing good fortune and blessings. Jackie Kennedy wore an Indian costume with a swastika when she was 10. The swastika is called Srivatsa in Sanskrit, an ancient Indian language. It means conducive to well-being. In China during the WWII dynasty, it was translated as one, literally meaning the majesty of 10,000 virtues, emphasizing the immeasurable merits and virtues of the Buddha. Swastika is thus called the Wanzi symbol in China. The Chinese say that the Wanzi symbolizes good luck and everlasting virtue. Tibetans believe it symbolizes eternal light, and that life is like a diamond that will never be destroyed. Buddhist scholars believe that the swastika symbolizes the Buddha's compassion and wisdom. Others believe that the swastika symbolizes the harmony of the universe and the balance between the two poles. This auspicious ancient sign was usurped by Hitler during World War II. The Nazi use of the swastika stems from the work of 19th century German scholars translating old Indian texts, who noticed similarities between their own language and Sanskrit. They concluded that Indians and Germans must have had a shared ancestry and imagined a race of white godlike warriors they called Aryans. This idea was seized upon by anti-Semitic nationalists who appropriate the swastika as an Aryan symbol to boost a sense of ancient lineage for the Germanic people. They tilted the swastika symbol so it stands on a corner and changed the color to black as opposed to the traditional gold color. The Nazis' black, straight-armed, hooked cross on the distinctive white circle and red background has become the most hated symbol of the 20th century, inextricably linking a universally auspicious symbol to the atrocities committed under the Third Reich. However, the swastika far predates the Nazis by tens of thousands of years. The oldest known swastika pattern was found carved into a Paleolithic-era bird figurine made of ivory, dated as being approximately 15,000 years old. This relic is in the National Museum of the History of Ukraine. The swastika appeared in Europe much earlier than commonly recognized. Mysterious totem-like symbols resembling the swastika have been found in the mountainous regions of Italy, Switzerland, Spain, and Portugal, many estimated to be over 10,000 years old. In ancient Greece, Pythagoras referred to the swastika as the tetractys and associated with the connection between heaven and earth, its right arm pointing toward the heaven and its left arm toward the earth. In Western Europe, evidence of the swastika's use still exists in many places, such as the Bronze Age carvings found in Yorkshire, England, on ancient Roman tiles in Spain, on Christian church architecture, on the robes of Christ figures, on 19th century Russian banknotes, and on the robes of the Greek god Zeus. The famous Elephant Tower in Copenhagen also has a swastika symbol on one of the elephants. In Israel, it has been found in ancient synagogues. Traces of the swastika are also found in Africa. For example, among the numerous designs of gold weights used for trade in Ghana, swastikas can be found. Ghanaians believe the swastika is related to life and consider it the most auspicious sign. According to traditional beliefs of the ancient Congo kingdom, a diamond-shaped swastika was also regarded as sacred. Eastern societies are even more familiar with this symbol. In India, the swastika is found on seals and silver coins from the Mohenjo-Daro ruins in the Indus Valley, dating back 4,000 to 5,000 years, around 2000 BC. In China, the earliest Wanzi symbol appeared in the Pengtoushan culture about 9,000 years ago. The appearance of the Chinese Wanzi character precedes the time of the Buddha and the origin of Buddhism in India. You see, the swastika symbol has been discovered all over the world, transcending languages, cultures, religions, geographical borders, and historical eras. This universal symbol has appeared in temples and shrines, in rituals of birth and death. But here's the question: is the universal appearance of the swastika the result of cultural borrowing among human civilizations, or does it represent a shared element across different cultures and belief systems? And if so, what is the common element and belief? To answer the question, let's return to the Hopi tribe and their prophecy rock. The Hopi believe that the Creator made human beings and provided them with a living environment. However, each time the morality declined and humans ceased to believe in the Creator and became corrupt, humanity was ultimately destroyed. A small number of morally upright individuals survived and established a new world. Gradually, human desires grew strong again, and people once again stopped believing in the Creator. Before long, humanity was destroyed again. This cycle has repeated over and over throughout history. Due to the passage of time, there are no precise records explaining the full interpretation of the carvings on the Hopi prophecy rock, but one simple interpretation offers an explanation as follows. The prophecy rock depicts humanity's destiny with two different paths. One path is materialistic, focused only on technology without spiritual values. If humanity chooses the materialistic road, the result will be a winding descent into destruction. The other path is spiritual, living in harmony with nature and the Creator. If humanity chooses the spiritual road, the outcome will be one of peace and harmony. The Hopi people believe the prophecy rock contains the messages given to humanity by the Creator at the beginning of time. They have been telling these stories for countless generations, and the time they speak of is the time we're living in today. They also believe that living during this time is a great honor, even though it will be very difficult. Everything is going through a cleansing process, but those who live through this time and witness these changes are considered very fortunate. The rock also marks key moments in history, such as the two world wars, and emphasizes that today is humanity's final chance to choose its direction. The Hopi believes that although the Creator governs everything, humanity's choices will decide its final outcome. At a certain point, humanity must make its ultimate decision, entering what the Hopi call a great purification and renewal period. After that, humanity will flourish once again, and the path of life will be eternally preserved. According to the Hopi, the swastika on the rock represents sacred spiritual energy from the universe, a life-giving force that shines on humanity like sunlight, which can be interpreted as compassion or mercy. Based on the Hopi prophecy, the swastika symbol carries a universal meaning of hope and redemption for all people. It is a blessing from the Creator to remind people of their divine connection. Perhaps this is why the swastika has transcended faith, cultures, languages, and geographical limitations, and has appeared all over the world and throughout human history. It is a concrete example of the common element in humanity's belief systems during their inheritance and evolution process. Some people try to differentiate between the left-facing swastika and a right-facing one. One is clockwise and the other counterclockwise. Because the Nazis used the right-facing symbol, some believe the right-facing swastika is bad. Actually, both are the same. They're just two sides of the same symbol. Imagine a swastika in 3D. It's facing left on one side and facing to the right on the other side. There is no difference. That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.